Yeah, you know what time it is. Welcome to the Second Chance Alive series. I'm your host, Darryll Stinson, and today I've got my friend, my business partner, my journeyman, my guy, Ryan, is in the house today. Ryan, say what's up to the people.
What's up, friends?
Hey guys, if you're tuning in right now, we are going to talk about transition, the journey, the struggle, the real man. You guys are going to be in on this friend conversation. If you've followed our YouTube channel, you saw that the bro moment video got released between me and Ryan. I probably met Ryan. Golly, when was that, Ryan? 3 years ago now? Is
That's
that
what we're
three?
pushing. Oh yeah,
Oh my gosh, right?
pushing it, buddy.
Through a mutual friend, Brandi Winans from Pro Athletes Transition. She said there's this guy, Ryan, who you've got to meet. He's near your area. You know, I've been talking to him. You guys got similar passions to help people. I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to do. He was already having a bunch of conversations. All I was doing was speaking. He was like, I don't have anything other than just one-on-one conversations to have with people because I don't have anywhere to point people to. I'm like, dude, I was thinking about forming something to point people to. 3 years later, boom, Second Chance Athletes. 3 years later, boom, book. Who Am I After Sports? Have you got your book yet? Y'all, yesterday we were number 9, 2 away from Mr. Brady. 2 away from Mr. Brady. So we are going to catch him. And you guys just don't understand that I've been getting, since this book released more than a week ago, I've been getting 1 or 2 messages a day of people just thanking me so much for the material, thanking us for what we do as an organization, reaching out for help, joining our email community, joining our text community. It's been overwhelming and it's been amazing. And one of the biggest people in my corners is this guy that you see right here, Mr. Ryan. Mr. Ryan. So, guys,
Journeyman with you, brother.
I know, man. I know.
That's all it is.
And so now's your time to host a watch party. If you've yet to do that, if you're watching on Facebook, host a watch party. That'll notify everyone that's following you or stalking you on social media that this is something worth tuning into. And if you're watching on another platform, go ahead and click the share button. If you're just now tuning in and you have yet to join our text community, join our text community at 770-407-5177. Get direct access to us. Also, I share some heartfelt messages to just keep you going when the going gets tough. Ryan, how you doing, my friend?
So, brother, I'm gonna back you up there and say, hey, if anybody's out there today that has a friend or a former teammate or colleague in question, Darryll and I get real. This will be real. And if there's somebody out there, and I call it just one, if there's one person out there you think might benefit right now, text them. Get them set up on this Facebook link, whatever it is. Darryll's got set up through his IT genius and log them in. Just get them in. Don't even tell them what it is. Just say, hey, listen, I think you might enjoy watching this. A couple of guys are going to hash out what transition looks like. So welcome, and grateful to be here, brother.
Look at you. Look who I remember the time where you didn't even know how to connect to this internet thing, man. Now you taking over, running commercials, inviting people. You're the man.
Man, something always amazing happens when we connect, brother. So I just got to put that plug in.
Yeah, that's true. Ryan, let's get into this conversation, man. Tell people your story. And while they do that, I will share on my platforms and I'll invite some people personally that I know need to tune in today.
Yeah. So let's do the elevator pitch, right? We're not going to take up forever, but transition story begins small town Pennsylvania. I was a big fish in a small pond. Great loving parents, wonderful younger brother. And we just chased after a bunch of sports. We just played everything we could, ran after every ball, every challenge, and really found out that my kind of niche was going to be in baseball. And so my parents really invested, man. And I have to say invested, y'all. Like, my parents are just like a lot of parents out there. They poured everything into it, Darryll. I mean, time, money, sacrifice of their vacations and honeymoons. To this day, my parents always joke their honeymoon was spent eating a hot dog and a Coke at a baseball field. So, I mean, they were all in. And thanks to their efforts, my God-given talents and resilience and persistence, I was able to get a college scholarship. Went out to Indiana University and was courted out there, signed a scholarship to play shortstop in the Big Ten. Did that for 2 years. Had a really challenging coaching situation out there, something I wasn't ready for, something I wasn't aware of, something I actually spent probably 2 years trying to prove to myself and to other people that I could persevere and make it, and just got to a breaking point saying it wasn't worth it. And saw some good counsel at that time and decided to transfer. For all those athletes out there who have transferred, it's a beast. Darryll, you and I really haven't talked about transferring much, but you're talking about leaving one family, as we often call it, and moving into another. And not only that, you're coming in right in the middle. So really grateful for my teammates and my brothers down at Western Carolina. It's where I ended up next. Spent some, 3 great years down there with some amazing guys and amazing coaches. And unfortunately, my transition at that point was ugly. I didn't get a chance to play professionally at the end, which was obviously always my goal, right? And I got angry. I threw everything away, everything I owned, baseball, trash. I was done. I was first team academic All-American. There's only one of those in the country, by the way, for a shortstop, and I was it, right? I was first team All-Conference. First team. There's only one of those. And I didn't get a gig, man. Second team got a gig. Third team shortstop got a gig playing professionally, and I didn't. So I left angry. I left angry for a college internship to finish my degree out in Santa Monica, California, and spent some time out there. When I got done, unconventional story. I go back. I decided I wasn't ready to grow up, and I wanted to further my education. So got a full scholarship to Auburn University to be a graduate assistant. And I was teaching classes, taking classes, research, training. Man, just set up, right? My brother was playing baseball down there, so it was a great opportunity to be with him and spend time with him, because he had some challenging, and I'm excited one day for my brother to share some of his story, because he had some challenging experiences in college and after college as well. So I went down there trying to be a supportive big brother, met my wife the second week I was there, didn't see that coming, which is a great story in itself. And as I started going through graduate school, spring rolled around, and the personal trainer I was working with brought in 2 guys, one from the Cubs that was in AAA and one that was from the Twins in AA. And I started watching them work out, and I was like, man, Darryll, I was like, I still got this, right?
Right.
I got this.
Exactly.
Like, I quit too easy. I got this. So I did. I took a big leap of faith. I hung up everything I had in terms of the graduate studies and scholarships and everything, and I quit. And I spent 10 weeks training with those 2 individuals and a wonderful friend, Greg Frederick, who I haven't had a chance to give a shout out enough. Literally, Darryll, he trained me for dinner. I would buy him dinner.
Wow.
Like, to this day, I haven't shared that with anybody, and I'm sharing it today. My brother, Greg, love you, man. I would have never, ever have gotten to where I was if it wasn't for you being selfless and simply training me for dinner. And I just appreciate that, brother. But anyways, got into working out. I ended up, again, thank you to graduate assistant coach at the time at Auburn, and even the Auburn head coaches, bro. They let me work out after their games for scouts. So I literally had a stat sheet printed up as I was working out. I would go to games and I would present my stat sheet just to a scouts in the stands and say, hey, listen, you got 30 minutes to watch me work out. And I don't know. I think it was a guy with the Texas Rangers, Darryll. And if he wouldn't have said yes the first time I ever asked anybody, I don't know if I would have kept asking, right?
Yeah.
So that went on for a couple of weeks, and I was asking scouts at games and got a couple workouts afterwards. And then my college coach called me up and said, hey, man, you still looking to play? And I said, Coach, I dropped out of grad school. What do you mean am I looking to play? I'm all in. And he said, my brother's a AAA hitting coach for the Florida Marlins, and he said they need an infielder. Now, they need an infielder. I'm all in. I don't even know what it is. Turns out it ends up in what, some pro ball guys may be listening or watching in the future. It's called Group 5. And that is like your teeny boppers from, Venezuela, the Dominican, your teens, man. We're talking the dudes that are like 16, 17, 18 years old. So here I am, 22, and soon to be known as Abuelo by all the Latinos. And I'm taking a voyage into pro baseball. So that's the story leading up to the transitional challenge, man. Went through 3 years of a humbling experience as a utility player, coming from a time and period in my life where I was just the guy, right? First team, starter, everywhere I went, I was playing. Now I'm sitting and watching. So wrestled with some turmoil there, just trying to figure all that out. And at the end of the day, got released after 3 years, and grateful for those 3 years. Got a chance to play independent ball, and in the middle of a doubleheader, I just decided that I wasn't making progress. I wasn't going to get back to organized, so I left the game.
Mhm.
And the reason I describe it as that is I had a conversation with my wife 4 years ago that I'll never forget her saying. She said, "I thought the game was done when you decided to leave."
Mm.
And I said, "Babe," I said, "you have no idea." And so to
Mm.
fast forward to where we are today, 11 years after the game, I couldn't figure out who I was, what I was chasing, who was gonna have my back.
Mhm.
And I struggled, man. I really struggled. Almost lost an amazing marriage and wonderful kids just because of myself. Nothing else anybody else was doing. I just couldn't figure it out.
Mhm.
Um, I reflected back 4 years ago when this aha moment goes off, Darryll, and my college roommate, when his career ended 2 weeks after, he tried to end his life, and I didn't get it. I still went to the hospital, supported him. I remember I gave him my necklace with a cross because faith was important at that moment in my life, and I was like, I feel bad for him. I cried 4 years ago on the interstate in Atlanta when it finally registered with me what he felt in 2 weeks, I felt in 11 years, right? And so here we are, 4 years fast forward. Thankful to be on with you, brother. Proud of you for your mission and your determination and the perseverance with the book and everything else too that we've done together in the last few years. And yeah, just here to share.
I love it, man. Hardest part about transitioning, what was it for you?
You're ground zero again. You're nothing. You're zero.
Mhm.
That's a humbling place. I was actually thinking about that before we talked today, and as I was told you, I was outside, wrestling in the dirt, doing some planning and some stuff, and it just hit me. I was like, one of the hardest things for an athlete to understand is that they've just grinded and they've achieved and they've grown. That when it's disconnected and you're separated from that, you are back to ground zero, and
Mhm.
that means you have to get dirty again. And
Mhm.
getting dirty is a very humble place to be, brother. It's a very humble place to be, to say, I am willing to be at the bottom,
Yeah.
because in due time, just like your athletic career, when you started in year 6 and you're in T-ball, or when you started in 9, you're at the bottom,
Bottom.
right? But it's hard to see because you've achieved, you've gotten to a place of success, and
Mhm.
it's reinventing that entire just get dirty attitude.
Mhm.
And I just came up with that today, and I thought it was fitting, man. I had to get dirty again, and it takes time, and we want everything right then and there, right? I have a guy that left the NFL, and we were talking about transition, and he said, yeah, every NFL player should come out, have an executive management position waiting on them, and almost a six-figure salary. And I said, huh, doesn't work that way. What do you mean? We've earned it. We've
Hey,
grinded.
I wish, you know.
I'm like, this should work
And
that way, bro.
all the professional athletes say, "Amen," you know.
Amen, right? Like, let me walk into this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Instead, I'm in a distant town of Atlanta, grew up in PA, knew nobody, had
yeah,
nothing on the ready to go. My brother did the same. He moved in with me in Atlanta,
yeah,
nothing to do. He actually ended up paying to work for an insurance gig that was a hoax, right?
yeah,
Just because he's trying to live. Yeah, man. So the hardest part is you're ground zero. And what are you going to do at ground zero? And it's nothing that you failed or you've deserved, or it's part of the transition, right?
yeah, yeah.
Reinvention.
What would you say to the people that are watching and they're like, man, okay, athletes, dude, what do they have to complain about? They've got an opportunity to play at the highest level. They've got fans, they've got network, they've got
Sure.
experiences that other people don't have. Why are you guys acting like this is a charity case and such a big deal? What would your response to those people?
Mm. So
What would it be?
chill bumps, as you're mentioning that,
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
because people take their lives over it, man.
yeah,
People lose their marriages over it.
yeah,
Why?
yeah,
It's a human thing, man. It doesn't have anything to do with a sport or a privilege
yeah,
or yes, our blessing is that God gave us athletic talents, Darryll,
yeah,
that they traveled us around the world, man. I mean,
yeah,
in my letter to sport that I read for you, I mean,
yeah,
it's the reason I got to travel. It's the reason I got to see. It's the reason I got loved by so many people that I can't ever repay.
yeah.
But I have a teammate who just committed suicide just under 2 years ago, bro,
It's crazy.
because he never figured out what life after sport was.
Wow.
we have a worldwide epidemic of this, right? Our buddy in Australia, Greg, I mean, it's there. So for anybody that asks, why are we pursuing it? Why are we talking about it? This isn't a crying session.
Right.
And the thing I want to share too is, it's not just professional athletes either, Darryll. Let's look at this, right? Remember this wonderful girl that changed my life she was a sophomore in high school. And she left sport, bro. 28 lacerations on her body because she couldn't figure out a new group of friends, a new way of living, and something that her parents supported and loved about her, man. That's real,
Real.
I mean, so to anybody, I would say just don't judge from the sound of it. Don't judge from what you see on television with the money and fame and notoriety. Just know, as you and I say, struggle doesn't discriminate, man. It doesn't care how much you make. It doesn't matter what you look like. Struggle doesn't care, man. And so there are broken people, man. And so this is just a great conversation about, how to help broken people, man. That's all.
Ryan, you survived transition, which, as you mentioned, some of our peers haven't. You survived another challenging time with the 2008 market crash. The world is in transition right now. Many people are being furloughed. 11,000 Olympic athletes affected by the change of Tokyo 2020. You brought it to my attention that the MLB draft went from 40 rounds to 5. College conferences postponing seasons. High school athletes who were depending on scholarship dollars no longer have that opportunity to play at the next level.
Correct.
What would your advice be to a world that's trying to figure out how to make it through tough times right now?
What's the advice? The world and the universe around you is bigger than what feels important in the moment.
That's good.
So right now,
that's good.
Right now you're angry, and I get it. My dad flat out said, Ryan, I don't know how you would have been able to transition. I don't think you could have. My dad said that just a few months ago, and I'm like, Dad, you're right. I would have been a train wreck. Somebody in high school, if I was in high school and somebody said, you're not going to Indiana to play anymore, your scholarship's revoked and you're done. Or if somebody, if I wouldn't have got the chance to play professional because Corona, wow. It's big now, and it's okay to be big now, Darryll. That's what you and we always say, it's dream big, but dream beyond, right? Like let's process that. Today, it's a big deal. It's going to be the biggest thing in your universe.
Yep.
But it's so much bigger, and there's so much more to happen, right? So I think really big takeaways are gather yourself up, look at what sport as a development tool has taught you, kind of just reflect on the experiences, and they can be some of the best experiences of your life, but give yourself credit for those, right? But understand the things that got you there are going to have to be changed, right? They're going to have to be different, and you're going to have to own those, right? So we talk about structure, systems, support. You're going to have to own those.
Exactly.
And again, dude, we talk about this all the time. Don't hate on somebody that's grieving. Don't hate on somebody that's trying to get through this, right? I mean, it's okay to grieve. You need to grieve, bro.
Grieve.
Darryll, I could not have gotten to this point without crying tears, man.
Thank you.
You have to do it.
Yes.
But as a buddy of mine who played professional baseball back in the late 70s, he said, we were taught to bury it, Schade. Do not bury this moment. It's okay. It is big. This is a huge deal. You have invested your youthful life in training and sacrifice. And listen, I get it, Darryll. I didn't go skiing when I was a kid, and I grew up north, so I didn't get hurt. I think my parents, we didn't go on vacations because we dedicated finances and resources to training to become better at sport. I get it, Pete. I get it. Anybody that's going through it, I totally understand. And I'd be a train wreck too. But we got to gather ourselves. We got to reflect. We have to go through a grieving process, and we got to regroup, restructure, and reinvent. And you can do it. You've been trained to do it. You know how to do it. And this is where my wife and she's like, athletes aren't that different. This is where you are different. You have been coached through this process. You've been supported through this process. You know what it looks like to get up at 5 a.m. when your body hurts and it's dark outside, and you are doing it because you know the mission that you're on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that looks like. It's just now you have to reinvent that yourself.
Right. Exactly. Such good advice, man. And I'll just say this too, just to add, and me and Ryan go back and forth with this all the time. He'll say something, I'll be like, I'll cover it from this angle, he'll cover it from that angle, and I think it's great advice. Let me just let you into something that happened to me for our listeners. Okay, I did everything that I was told to do to be successful. They said that if I believed, I could achieve. They said that if I worked harder than anyone else, that I would have opportunities that no one else had. They told me that I could be anything and do anything that I wanted to be and do. I did it. I worked harder. I outran people in my position group. I outplayed people. I kept a positive mindset. I gave my all. I reached the top 5% of the industry. Ryan, top 1%. And then injury happens. Opportunity gone. You talked about hitting round zero. The thought of something that took me 18, 19 years to get to.
I know.
Doing it again.
Yeah.
Was insane. I want to start over. For what? So I can make less than what I would have made as a professional athlete?
Yeah.
Start over so that I could be top 60% of industry instead of top. Start over. With what? Following the same principles. Work harder, show up early, stay late. I did that.
Me too.
See, most people don't know what it's like to fail after giving everything. Most people give some of their best effort and then fail. But think about how hopeless and helpless you feel when you gave everything and you failed.
Hey, what if you even go further? What if you sell your soul to get it?
Oh, don't, man.
What if you sell your soul?
True story. One of my coaches, not even going to say which one, literally, they were like, if we win this game, if I said the game, you would know which coach. If we win this game, I will sell my soul. Said those words on the bus. My teammates know who we're talking about. It's real, Ryan.
It's real, brother.
I talk about this in the book that for me, the first phase in our transition process is accepting the end of your athletic reign. And for me, I say this phrase in the book. I said, acceptance began when idolizing ended.
That's good.
Because there's an idolization of sports that is toxic. There's people that just want to be a professional athlete because they want the money. They want the platform. It's about me, ego.
Preach.
Ryan, talk about this idolization of sports, this pressure of an athlete to get there, because we hold the career of an athlete here, right, in esteem. And don't even get me started on the parents that want to force their children to get there and live through them and push them there because they see it as here. It's not about a child's purpose. It's about them reaching what I think is the ultimate goal in life, is to be a professional athlete. Right?
You know what's so crazy, brother? You know, one of the most popular sayings that people would always tell me when I got done playing?
What's that?
How lucky you are.
Oh, God.
I would have given my right arm
to
play.
Listen. And keep in mind, they're talking about being in the spotlight. They're not talking about the 5 a.m. workouts, the 2-a-days, the film sessions, the walking around campus with your legs hurting. They're talking about the tip of the iceberg that everyone sees. Okay, cool. I just want to make that clear.
Don't make me work for it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm jumping in at the end. I see what
Exactly.
you produced, and I
Exactly.
want your seat on the plane in the big leagues or
Yeah,
the bus
exactly.
in the minor leagues, and I'm going to give away my arm, Darryll.
My arm.
That insanity, man, is what has
Sanity.
turned into this idolization, bro. I have been so blessed to be through this journey with you, connected with military amputees.
Yes.
Chill bumps right now,
Yep. I already know you're going.
bro.
Come on. Go there.
Amputees, man.
Amputees.
And we
bro.
have idolized a sport concept to the point of people are willing to say that
Yep.
when that guy or that gal was over in a battle protecting your my freedom and got blown up and lost it and can't ever get it back. My buddy said on an interview I did with him, right? This is what he said. He said, some days I wake up and I ask God, why can't I just have my leg back for one day?
Wow.
But we're going to tell somebody that played a professional sport
Wow.
that I would have given my arm to do what you did.
Come on.
And I don't want to crush any dreams, man, because you and I are all about that. We want people to pursue greatness.
Go.
But
be a professional athlete. Send us a check.
What are you going to do? Yeah. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do if you become an athlete? What are you going to be? What are you going to do if you listen? Here's the other catch to it. Everybody sees on everybody sees on TV the performance, Darryll.
The performance.
You know what they don't see?
The grind.
The brokenness.
Oh, don't even talk about that.
Come on.
Don't go there.
What are divorce rates in professional athletes in and out of sport? Bro, what are our bankruptcy rates?
78% within the first 3 years for NFL athletes.
I'm telling you. So listen, here's the thing that I was writing about this morning. I talked to a couple buddies about, right?
Yep.
We get frustrated when our journey's over.
Yeah.
And feel like we got let down.
Mm-hmm.
And God's not producing for us anymore, bro. Right? Yep. Why? Why'd you take this away? Why couldn't I, right?
Yep.
But I wrote this morning, man, what if he was protecting us?
Yeah.
What if there are athletes right there? I'm telling you, like, what if instead of what if his circumstance today of not being able to continue playing, not getting that Olympic opportunity, not getting to play your last season of collegiate sport, what if that, again, it's a reflective piece, it's a journey, it's very hard to see in the moment, Darryll, but as you look back, what if it's a blessing, man? What if it's truly giving you a leg up today on what you need to be doing to prepare for the future that you and I get so excited about now? What if it's giving you that start? What if it's giving you this conversation right now with you and me and the movement that we're putting forward to try and address this conversation early? What if it's letting you be on the forefront of that mission, man?
It doesn't. What you're saying is 100% true, but nobody wants to hear it.
I know.
They don't, because when you're in it, you're just like, no, give it back, give it back, give it back.
But
it doesn't change the truth. Now, this is, I feel this in my heart right now.
Yeah, come on.
Watch this. Hold on. Ryan, talk for a second. I got to grab something. Here's what I want you to talk about, okay? Because here's where I'm getting ready to go.
That's good.
What, I don't know. You didn't play. Did you play? You played a little basketball, didn't you?
It's my favorite sport, brother.
All right. So did y'all?
Listen,
baseball. Y'all didn't have cheerleaders. What was the crowd cheer in baseball? What was it like?
No, I don't even know. But listen,
peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care. Is that it?
Yeah. 7 things stretch. Yes.
What do you say when everyone's getting the crowd hype and they're all cheering for you? What's the cheer for MLB or baseball or whatever? Marlins. Y'all didn't have a thing?
No, man.
Oh God. Okay. Well, I'm glad I played football and basketball. Yeah, right? We used to say, "Go fire up, Chips." Go fire up, Chips. Yep. No. Okay. Okay. Well, what I want you to talk about is the fan support during the game and the silence that happens after, because I got something right now. So stay tuned, everybody. Stay tuned, because this is new to the stream. You're getting ready to hear a new element of this. And I want to talk to you, right? Stay on if you ever been to a high school game, if you ever watched a professional sports game on TV, if you ever tuned into the Olympics, stay tuned, because I got something for you. Ryan, talk about how hard it is to go from hearing everything to hearing nothing. Okay. Let's be back. Not going for long.
hearing everything and going to nothing. I think that starts. You're back already?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Dang, dude. I think that starts just in your narrow support group first, Darryll,
Yep.
and then it expands, right? Because I think that narrow support group, all this cheering and stuff, that starts with family, starts with friends, coaches, trainers, clubhouse guys, that teammates, that first group. And then, like obviously, man, your football situation in big time football it's a different beast than what I was involved with. I played in front of tens of thousands in professional baseball, but collegiately, if we had 100 people at a game, it was cool, right?
Yeah.
So again, that's a different dynamic for you, and the monetary handshakes and the hey, I can do favors and all that kind of big time football thing, but. It changes. Your intermediate, your first group of support changes, and then your bigger group of support changes. And you mentioned signing autographs, in your book, and I remember signing so many balls that by the time you got done doing it, you were like, I don't want to do this anymore. I mean, this is like what? So anyhow, but what you got? You went away and came back. Bring it. Come on. What you feeling?
Hey, Darryll. What sport do you play? Hey, Darryll, how's your family doing? Hey, Darryll, what's it like to play with Antonio Brown? Hey, Darryll, you guys beat Michigan State? Oh, man, Darryll, how many points you score? Hey, man, you think you guys are going to go all the way this year? Hey, Darryll, man, let me know if you need anything. Hey, Darryll, let me know if you need anything. Hey, Darryll, let me know if you need anything. Hey, Darryll, let me know if you need anything. I retire. Forced retirement. Nothing. Silence. No hand claps. No autographs. No support. No requests for help. No offers for help. Silence. I went from feeling like somebody to nobody.
That's good.
I want everyone watching this right now or watching the replay or whatever to think back to high school. Everybody's older than high school that's watching this. Think back to high school. We all know a high school athlete. Wow. We all know a high school athlete who was a superstar. Fast, hitting out the park, leader in the community, newspaper, medals. Everyone's talking about their athletic ability. Didn't have the right father figure in their life. Didn't have the right opportunity. Didn't know the recruiting space. And is sitting at MC Sports right now, thinking that was the best that I ever had. I'll never feel that way again. I'll never feel like on top of the world. I'll never feel like myself. I'll just pay the bills. Here's what I'm asking you to do. You ready? Here we go. This is what I want to go grab. Buck. See this? This right here. I have a stack of these. Now I know this is my book, but I have a stack of these because I know what's going to happen. Here comes somebody talking about, oh, Darryll, I know this kid. He's a former athlete, was supposed to go play at Georgia Tech or UGA. He broke the passing records, made some poor decisions, and now he's here somewhere near you. And I can go, I got something for him. I want you guys to do that. You know why? Because if you watched us on TV, you can help us when we're not. And I'm not trying to force anybody. I'm just trying to get you to understand that if you can wear their jersey, you can help their mental health. You can. You can make a difference. This book helps. Let me read you this, and then I'll shut up, Ryan, and then I'll let you say some remarks. Ryan's like, Darryll, you're supposed to let me talk.
No, it's not about me, bro.
I know, man. That's why I love you. I gotta read this to you. Okay. Text message. We've got a former athlete, 27 years old, just came off the streets into our recovery program. Not going to tell you where he played, but he had an opportunity to play at the next level, the top level. I sent him a link to your TEDx talk. This one is yours, buddy. You know what I said? I got a signed copy of my book just for him. Just for him, man. Because this is the help that I wish I had. It really is. I could not find answers. I found mental health stuff. I could not find people talking about athletic identity. Athletes were too tough to talk about it. But we're talking about it. Ryan, that's my commercial for now. And I know we got super heavy or whatever, but this is serious. If you don't believe me, ask junior sales teammates.
Chill bumps, man.
If you don't believe me, ask Michael Phelps, who has all of the influence, all of the money, resources, network, but still publicly declares he can't overcome his mental health challenges. You know, I have never talked to Michael Phelps, Ryan, but you know what I believe? I believe it's because he has not cracked the code of athlete identity yet, because they keep telling him to journal and visualize and do all this stuff that I encourage people to do as well, but they never told him how to let go of his potential, how to process his fan base and learn how to forgive those who used to support him, how to go from taking the spotlight on himself and his accolades and focus on others and his impact that he can make. They didn't teach him how to detach his identity from sport. All they did was tell him, live more mentally healthy. So whoever knows Michael Phelps, let's get this book in his hands. See if it helps. All right, I'm done. Ryan.
That's good, man. I mean, I got a college teammate, to your point, of identification and being aware of it first and foremost, right? A great former teammate was going to AA, and he said, Shade, I don't even know why I'm here. Everybody else is talking about why they're here. It's either a broken marriage, or it's kids with this, or whatever, lost job, whatever. And I said, have you ever thought it could be the game?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, what do you mean? And I said, the little white ball, man. Have you ever thought that little white ball is still tucked inside of your heart, and it's consuming so much space that you can't give it to your wife and your kids, and you can't let it go? Instant.
Mm-hmm.
Done. Mm-hmm. Put a finger on it, turned it around, and thanks be to God, just keeps moving and trucking. And of course there's ups and downs along the way ever since. So nobody out there, anytime you figure this, you think you figured it out and you got your finger on it, go. But there's gonna be some ups and downs along the way. So it's not a flawless discovery and reinvention. It takes, what do we always say, D? It takes work, right? You want to be good at sport, it takes work. You want to be good at a marriage, it takes work. You want to be a good author, it takes work. If you want to reinvent yourself and become something greater after sport, it takes work. Now, here's the big thing, Darryll. You mentioned earlier, what do we chase when we want to be athletes? Fame. There really isn't a lot of that in the business world, unless you're executive level or super, brilliant inventor, right? So that's kind of hard to find. And money, right? So again, that idol of money, and I just, to all the athletes out there that are watching this, it's normal to chase that when you get out. I think we had a call just a little bit ago with a guy that's in medical sales. Well, the reason typically you get into that is, one, it's a lot of money, but it's not not fulfilling. It's not it's not where you need to be. So anyhow, just when you're an athlete and you're used to grinding and you tear it up, there are a lot of organizations that like placing athletes in professional careers because we're grinders, we're coachable, we persevere. But just pause for a second and realize that some of that you may actually have to, pull back and reinvent, turn it down a bit. So, but no, it's good, man. It's just tough, dude. Transition is just a beast, man. And until you own it personally yourself, and 11 years for me, not even knowing what transition was or who I could talk to. as far as I was concerned, it was my wife's fault. It was my boss's fault. It was somebody else's fault, right? But until I had Bobby Butler throw me that dart and just stick me with, I was depressed after leaving the NFL. And knowing that you're not alone, like this isn't abnormal. Like, listen, athletes, it's not like we talked about earlier. This is the biggest thing you've ever tried to accomplish. And you did great. Like, you got here, but that's not it. That's not the end. And again, it's just whoever can come up with quickly how to reinvent the self and the new network of people that are going to surround you, and great people, whoever can do that the quickest and the best is going to have the most successful transition. And for me, I didn't have, where do you go, Darryll? 4 years ago, where do you go? I'm thankful for Brandi. She has her, gig on down in Florida, but that wasn't in Atlanta where I am. Thank God for the internet. That's what I tell my buddies back that played in the 70s and before that, Darryll, where do they go? There was a phone book. How are they going to connect with a brother that's going through the same thing? Our military buds, right? Vietnam, World War II. How are those people, how were they expected to connect, man? How are they expected to get through some of this and have these conversations? It was virtually impossible. So you buried it. And then you took it with you, and you carried it. And it's heavy, and yeah, it's great, man. This is again, awesome what you're doing. Thankful to be along for the ride, man. And thankful for the team too you've partnered up with. I see Casey in there. So Casey, appreciate you. Not sure we've met or anything, but all your back end folks too that are making this possible and helped you with the book too, man. Really proud of you for the book and that perseverance.
No guts, no glory, man. They are awesome and they're rocking it out. Thank you guys for supporting us in this book launch, helping us get this message to the world. Yes, Casey, who's supporting us, engaging with the people tuning in online, helping us get this message out on Facebook and YouTube and Periscope, because that is still a thing.
Takes the team,
Ryan,
bro.
Thank you, man. Our best days are ahead, and and I appreciate you. And I said this on my book launch party, but I just wanted to let you know I love you, man. And there would be no second chance athletes if there was no Ryan Schade.
I appreciate that, man.
And so I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, the journey's been awesome, man. And again, you and I talk. This isn't a one individual show, folks. If you're watching today, or you send this on to a friend, family member, whatever, so many parallels to so many different places between corporate jobs and military. But listen, this is not an individual journey. Like, yes, you got to own it. Yes, you got to dig in. Yes, you got to get your hands dirty again. Yes, all those things are true. But you need accountability partners. You need teammates. You need people that are going to be with you along the journey. And I couldn't have done my work without you too, man. And it's so weird how people come in and out too, right? I mean, I came in, and then we talked about how Sydney snuck in, and now this new group with Casey sneaks in, and God's just moving people in and out of your life, and just welcome those people, be open to those people, and just always be willing to ask one person. So I just, just ask one person how they're doing with their transition or how they're doing, and if they just say okay, or what are some other things we hear? I'm doing as well as I can be, or you start hearing those things, just poke a little harder,
Poke a little harder.
Just poke a little harder, and don't be afraid. Just keep the conversation going. That's all.
That's it.
It's a big deal, man. It really is. Like I said, losing a teammate, almost losing another teammate. 28 lacerations as a high school sophomore. Those are real. I was at I don't know if I ever shared this with you. I was at a military luncheon. I'm sitting here with these military guys transitioning, and the one gentleman, did I tell you, he walked up to me and he said, "You're not going to believe this." He said, "My wife is a former college athlete, and she just tried to commit suicide last week. Newborn baby, couldn't figure it out, didn't know what life was going on. She was missing sport."
Wow.
I mean, listen, you asked why we're having these conversations. Because it's real, man. This isn't a sob story. This isn't a Cry Me a River story. It's not. This is a real story. And I'm excited to change the numbers, man. excited to change the
too.
transition. I can't wait. I can't wait to sit here 10 years from now, bro, and look at the divorce rates coming out of the NBA and the NFL and the bankruptcies and MLB. I know you posted a great stat about that too. I can't wait to look at those. And if they move 5 or 10%, dude, just to celebrate the fact that potentially we had a part of that, man.
Yes.
I can't wait. It's like, again, it's that patience and journey and process. And, I want it now, just like the new career, I want it now. But, anyways.
Love it.
Love
it.
It is. It's good, man.
It's all about people, man. And appreciate you.
It
Speaking of people, I want to introduce you guys to my next guest. His name's Caleb Gilliams. He's the founder and CEO of Better Wealth, a company committed to showing people how to have the efficiency and control over their money today while maximizing their future wealth potential. At an early age, Caleb read every financial book he could get his hands on and was fascinated with the idea of ordinary people like you and I being able to achieve extraordinary wealth. While still in college, he was promoted to take over the entire investment division at a local community bank, where he committed to finding a better way for wealth for his clients. He traveled across the country for over 2 years, learning from the top financial experts. He eventually discovered proven strategies and principles that can empower anyone to create and protect real wealth. Caleb is one of the youngest leaders in the industry and is quickly becoming the new face of finance. Excited to share and impact as many lives as possible, Caleb authored The And Asset. He hosts the Better Wealth podcast, and he speaks around the world. He has a true passion for financial education and is on a mission to help people see and reach their highest potential. You guys are going to want to tune in to Caleb. He's a great guy. I was at a mastermind, high-level mastermind, and I thought he was some high school kid that was lost. Like, look at this little high school kid. This guy's lost, man. Like, where's his parents? And then he asked his assistant to come do some stuff. I was like, what? This guy's a boss? And I started talking to him. I was like, this dude is like a kid genius, man. He's phenomenal. He's super generous. He's going to teach you everything he knows in the time that we have. And he supports us at Second Chance Athletes. He believes in our mission.
That's good.
So can't wait for you guys to meet him. Tune in for that. All the information's on our pages and all that stuff. If you haven't yet, make sure you go grab the book, buy a copy for you, buy 10 copies for your local team, and let's change the narrative. Let's defy the statistics. Let's move that 78% to 77%. To 76, to 75, to 74, 3, 2, 1. Man. 0. We can do that, but we can't do that alone, and we need your help. Thank you so much. Ryan, I love you, man. Thank you, as always, man. And our best days are ahead, man. We got a lot more to come.
Big stuff.
All right. Peace, my friend.